Now, South Korea is hosting the annual summit of Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum, or APEC, in the southeastern city of Gyeongju. The arrival of the key leaders has happened and a number of high-stakes bilateral meetings have taken place on the sidelines. The Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim arrived in South Korea's Busan to take part in the summit of the multilateral regional grouping. Now, China's President Xi Jinping and Japan's new Prime Minister Sani Takaichi are already in South Korea, and both leaders are expected to, of course, hold a bilateral on the sidelines of the summit. Now, APEC, remember, is a non-binding 21-member forum accounting for about 50% of global trade and 61% of the GDP. However, this year's meeting has been overshadowed by Trump's protectionist policies. Now, earlier in the day, President Xi Jinping met with the American President Donald Trump and held talks related to trade in Busan. After departing from Busan, Trump announced lower tariffs on Chinese imports and said that the issue of the U.S. access to rare earth minerals has now been settled. Trump also stated that the meeting has yielded an extendable one-year deal on the supply of the crucial rare earths, calling his bilateral meeting with the Chinese president a great success. New Zealand's Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, Thai Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul, the Vietnamese President Leong Chong, the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney are also in Korea for the APEC summit. Now, the gathering of the leaders took place in Gyeongju from the 30th of October and will, of course, go on till the 1st of November. Now, APEC's host nation, South Korea, says the member nations of the APEC forum are now close to reaching a consensus on a joint declaration ahead and established in 1989 as a 12-member forum to promote free trade and economic cooperation. APEC now has 21 members, including the United States, South Korea, China, Japan, Australia and Russia. APEC, in fact, failed to adopt a joint declaration in 2018 and 2019 during Trump's first presidency, but it hopes to have a joint declaration this time round. And earlier I spoke with our correspondent Oh Soo-young, who is on the ground in Gyeongju in South Korea and is tracking the leaders' summit very closely. Listening to this report sent by her.
Temporary trade truce between Presidents Trump and Xi has been reached this morning. Of course, President Trump called it an amazing meeting and he left on a very high note. And while the rest here, us in the press room, we've been, a little apprehensive as this trade war isn't over. Clearly, I would say the battle is over with this recent spout of escalations between Washington and Beijing over, but the war pretty much is still on. And there's some positivity for Korean businesses as well and other businesses in the region and globally, as this bilateral trade spat has been affecting. It's been very concerning for high-tech firms in particular. But this temporary truce on the rare minerals front, that's been quite reassuring. But again, of course, this is only valid for 1 year. President Trump himself, he's acknowledged that in about a year, they're going to have to renegotiate. So again, there's a sigh of relief for now, but there are still lingering concerns going ahead.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.